Hello fellow YouTubers, this is Utah Moses here to give you my 35th DVD and Blu-ray update. So let's begin. First one is Wendy and Lucy, the indie drama starring Michelle Williams as Wendy, and the dog plays Lucy. And it revolves around her trying to get back to her hometown when she faces car problems, and so she's stranded in a small town. And being that she's been facing some economic troubles, she deals with a much worse situation than other people, where she has to get her car fixed, she doesn't have a place to go, and she lost her dog. So, I thought this was a good movie, I enjoyed it, and this is directed by Kelly Reinhardt, who's an indie director, and she directed another film a year after Wendy and Lucy called Meek's Cutoff, which also starred Michelle Williams, and I find it to be a bit disappointing because it was a western and nothing really happens in the story but these people traveling through an uninhabited wasteland. So, yeah, I liked Wendy and Lucy more than Meek's Cutoff because with this one, I knew what I was getting into when I started watching it, while in Meek's Cutoff, I was expecting it to be a bit of an action-y western. Next one, and this is a action-y western, is Rio Bravo, the 2-disc special edition starring John Wayne as a sheriff who enlists a couple of people to help him fight off against a band of outlaws trying to break out one of their cohorts. And he happens to get an alcoholic, a handicapped man, and a young gunfighter to help him out. Now, this is the second John Wayne movie that I've got in my collection, first being The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I haven't seen it yet, but heard good things about it, and I thought I'd get into other westerns other than the spaghetti westerns by Sergio Leone or whoever. And I got this for mildly cheap. I'm not going to tell you because you might judge me for my price checking, but whatever. Next one is American Dad Volume 3. And you can tell that I enjoy watching these shows, and this has some of my favorite episodes with Roger the Alien, and he is the main reason why I watched this show. That and Stan Smith. And it has episodes like An Apocalypse to Remember, where Roger dresses up like a Jew and tries to marry a woman just to get a free blender, or Franny 911, where he fakes a kidnapping and has to be good to the whole family, and follows into the E.T. storyline. And there's also this episode called A.G. the Abusive Alien, which is really funny to watch. "Oh, honey, you treat me so fine!" So yeah, this is a good buy for me, and this one happens to have all the commentary tracks for all the episodes, unlike the other ones where there's only like a few for some of the episodes. And I have been collecting these shows in reverse chronological order, not by 1, 2, 3, 4, but by 6, 5, 4, 3, so I don't mind. Now on to the Blu-rays. First one I got is The Raid Redemption. This is such a kick-ass action movie, and for those of you that don't know about the story or even heard about it, this is an Indonesian film where a SWAT team needs to take down a crime lord who's hiding out at this apartment building, and it turns out that everyone in the building are criminals that work for him, and so he speaks on the intercom and says, "Whoever any of you kills a cop don't have to pay rent forever living in this building." So things go out of hand, and they need to do whatever they can to survive, just so that they can take down that crime lord. Now, this has a lot of great scenes in this that I can't even count how many of them there are. The action is so well done, and it feels so authentic and real, and they even use a new or a martial arts practice that nobody has ever heard of even, called Sillet, which involves a lot of bare hands combat and even knife play with a lot of the characters. And I just thought that it looked so brutal whenever they're fighting somebody. Like, the only way to take down any of the bad guys is either stab them or shoot them to death or even or at least cripple them for life. They're that hard to beat. And unlike most action movies where a second banana of a crime lord is some big muscle-bound guy, he happens to be a 5'2" sort of person whose name is Mad Dog, and he fights like crazy. And there's a scene where I swear it lasted for like 10 minutes, the fight scene with him. So yeah, if you don't mind reading subtitles off the screen, and you don't want to wait for Expendables 2 to come out, then check out The Raid. Next one is A Separation, another foreign film that won Best Picture, for Best Foreign Film that is, which revolves around a husband and wife who deals with divorce in Iran, while the husband is trying to take care of his father who has Alzheimer's. And this more revolves around the murder of a pregnant woman's child, and they try to deal with that sort of situation while having some inner conflicts with the family. So, I happened to got this on its release date, and I heard a lot of great stuff about it. And the one thing that I'm grateful about this is that they didn't add any foreign songs to it, which can get really annoying when you listen to it. Actually, this has no music at all up until the credits roll. This is a very subtle film where the performances is what matters and the storyline. And I thought they all did a great job with it, but I don't think it's that great a film that it deserves a high rating, but I'll probably have to check it again. Next one is Casino, the Martin Scorsese film. I really like this film and got it cheap for $5 at some store, and I just had to upgrade it because I feel like checking these movies out again in better quality picture, so I just had to. Next one is Dr. Zhivago in Digibook Blu-ray. Now this is basically Gone with the Wind in Russia, where a doctor poet is having an affair with an activist's wife, and they go through the hardship of the Russian Revolution. Now, I heard a lot of great stuff when the Michael showed this on his Blu-ray DVD update, and I had to pick it up when the price drops on it, and there just happened to be a Best Buy sale going on with Blu-ray digibooks, so I thought that was the best time to pick it up. And what's neat about it is that it comes in a 2-disc set, and it even comes with a CD sampler, which I don't have on me, and I don't feel like getting off my chair. Next one is Pulp Fiction. This is the perfect movie for you to watch. This makes my top 5 favorite movies of all time. And basically, I just try to marvel all my conversations based off this movie, because how all the characters converse with each other in the story is just so electrifying. And the screenplay by Quentin Tarantino is beyond brilliant. And this is before he became really exploitive with his films when he started to make the Kill Bill movies. And I had to get this on its special edition packaging because it was on sale for $13. Tried to get it earlier, but there weren't any copies left until yesterday. So, glad that I picked it up. Next one is Crank, the Jason Statham movie. And I've watched this like almost a year ago until I've seen it again yesterday, and thought it was way over the top but fun. And it has so many in-your-face visuals, a lot of crazy-ass scenes like old women beating up a taxi driver, or Statham trying to keep his heart beating while the song My Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus is playing. I mean, if this is the kind of movie that you enjoy, then by all means, because I'm no saint for watching it either. Next one is The Sitches, the John Wayne film again. And I specially ordered this because I couldn't find it anywhere. At first I thought it was at Future Shop or whatever, but turns out it's a lot harder to find now. And hopefully I'll get to this soon because I do like the story behind this. Actually, I forgot what it's about. Something about his wife. Whatever, I'll look it up later. Now, on to the finale, my review for The Hunger Games. The movie takes place in a fascist dystopian world where North America has been torn into two groups of cities, the capitals and the districts. The capitals is where all the higher class people live in, where the districts is all the lower class people live in poverty and have to participate in the sadistic games known as the Hunger Games. And so when Katniss volunteers over her sister, she needs to do whatever she can to survive through it and win the game along with a friend that she knows known as Peter, which they happen to have some history with each other. So the Hunger Games became the mainstream franchise of this time right now, and a lot of people seem to like this movie, but to me, I'm not really into films that are based off of these sort of love novels. And that's just me in a way, but my brother, on the other hand, really likes the book. He got through the first one and going on to Catching the Fire, but when he saw the Hunger Games movie, in his opinion, he said that the movie sucked his dick, and I can understand why, because the Hunger Games revolved around harsh political propaganda where the capitals are supporting the games, whereas the people in poverty and depression have to face the fact that they can't do anything and there is no inevitable way that they can avoid the deaths or even fates. But here's my upside about it. The performances from the main cast was great. Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss carried that emotional integrity of her character the whole time. Woody Harrelson was great as the drunk mentor for her and Peter, and I like the rest of the actors for just being in there, or some of them at least. And some of the action and visual effects looks neat for that part of it. Now, on to the downside. I didn't like how all the people in the Capitol looked like freaks or just look freaky looking, because if Donald Sutherland is the president, then he must have appointed Lady Gaga as his first lady, because what they're wearing is just... what the fuck? And also, it took a very long time before they got to the actual Hunger Games. And even when it does get to that, the action or the violence is very shy because even though the cinematography was beautiful at some parts of it, when it got to the action, they resort themselves to shaky cam and close-ups just so that they could avoid all the content in it. And at that time, I couldn't tell what was going on. And the last thing about it is Wes Bentley as Seneca Crane, I believe his name was. I don't like him in any film he's been in, not even American Beauty, because basically all his acting motives just involve staring and talking. And even when he doesn't do that in a few movies, he just does it in the most wrong way possible. I mean, 100 different actors could play his part better. I don't know, that's just me. So overall, The Hunger Games is alright. Not phenomenal, not great, just alright. And being that this is kind of a ripoff of Battle Royale, the Japanese film, this goes down by a bit. Then again, Battle Royale is a takeoff of The Running Man, where The Running Man is a takeoff of The Most Dangerous Game. Battle Royale is better. Out of 5, I give it 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was alright, and there isn't much to recommend about it unless you're really into these soft action movies. I think they could have passed with a R rating just to boost up the rate, just to boost up critical views. But if I was to choose between The Hunger Games and Twilight, I would definitely go with The Hunger Games if it makes you feel better. Now, on to the special features. This is the 4-disc box set exclusively from Best Buy, so let's check what's inside here. I just like this presentation. This comes with the Mockingjay emblem, and it comes with this booklet, which comes with 2 DVDs and 2 Blu-rays, so the whole family can enjoy. Now on to the special features. We have the game maker Suzanne Collins and The Hunger Games, the making of The Hunger Games, letters from the Rose Garden, and controlling the games, which... So that's all I got to say. Sorry this was long as shit for you. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back later. Until then, this is Yuto Moses, signing out.